There's a lot going on in the world. We're just talking about Brexit, and I wonder your take. How fragile is the state of global growth, given all of these potential shocks that we see on the horizon?
Well, you know, John, it's been actually incredible to me over the last year, with all of the geopolitical risk, all of the dynamics happening between Brexit, the U.S. government shutdown, the U.S.-China trade relations, other issues in pockets around the world. I've been amazed at the resilience of the economy, at least based on what we've seen so far. So hopefully as we get resolution to some of these issues and we see whatever resolution comes with Brexit, hopefully one that is a little more gentle than a hard Brexit. If we see continued progress like we've seen in the U.S.-China trade discussions, that would be positive. And I think if the economy has been able to move forward positively in light of all that, then I'm hopeful once we get some of that stuff resolved, we'll see even, better growth going forward.
And from there, let's talk a bit about 5G. Yeah. You guys, being the networking giants, have a lot of partnerships you've talked about here in Barcelona for next generation 5G networks. 2020 is a year when we really expect to see more momentum behind that. What's the range of possible outcomes in 2020 based on demand, especially in places like Europe and emerging markets that aren't as strong as the U.S. economically right now?
Yeah, I think that what we see happening is this year we see pilots beginning, and we see carriers announcing trials in certain cities where they're going to deliver 5G connectivity to handsets to just show what's possible. And most of that's going to be integrated into their existing 4G architectures today. And then in 2020, we think we'll begin to see broader-based build-outs, particularly in the U.S. And in Europe. And then as we progress from a couple years out, then you're probably going to see dedicated 5G networks being built to support the broad connections at the edge. Because you know this, given what you do every day. When you start adding, if you look at 2022, we think there'll be over 400 million 5G connections in the world. And with all of that capacity at the edge, the core networks are going to have to be lifted in order to accommodate it. So we think you're going to see build out over the next 2 to 3 years.
Brian?
Yeah, hey, Chuck, thank you for joining us here on Worldwide Exchange. Listen, you're making billions of dollars in deals all over the world with Rakuten in Japan and SoftBank and Airtel of India. Is there any sign from where you sit that the global economy is slowing down at all?
Well, Brian, we said on our last earnings call that we saw very consistent performance from the first day of the quarter to the last. And I was just, obviously talking about the resilience that the economy has shown. I think in this particular segment, in the carrier space, we could be entering into a multi-year expansion where all of the carriers, as they build out new services and new revenue streams around 5G, you're going to see capital investments to actually accommodate this onslaught of traffic. I mean, in 2022, over 70% of the traffic from mobile devices are going to be video. So that puts loads on networks. They're going to have to continue to upgrade. So hopefully, in our business, we'll see the service provider segment actually begin to pick up some steam over the next few years, like we've seen with the enterprise piece here over the last couple of years.
Should we, Chuck, look to regional economic health as a proxy for how much data they're going to be pumping out, and thus what the demand for these new networks is going to be?
Well, I think that the data is going to be massive regardless of the economic health.
Really?
In general. I think that in many cases the emerging countries will want to take advantage of this technology because some of the problems they're trying to solve or some of the opportunities they're trying to attack just require 5G. Think in emerging countries that have rural areas where you haven't been able to deliver high-quality education, high-quality health care. We have underlying technology that can help them do that, but you need that high-speed connection. And building terrestrial connections has been prohibitive in some cases because of terrain, but getting 5G there changes that. So I really believe it'll give us the opportunity to reach rural areas we've never been able to reach before, and a lot of those areas are in emerging countries.
Very interesting stuff. Chuck, thanks for taking the time, sitting down with us.
Good to see you.
Here on CNBC.
Thank
Brian,
you.
back to you.